Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Monkey here. We're at Germany, specifically Cologne, at the Gamescom 2014 conference here. Talking with a couple of guys from Reto-Moto, of course, behind Heroes and Generals, the Axis and Allies FPS. We got Jacob and Kenneth, and we're going to talk a little bit about, guys, the upcoming developments with the game. You know, of course, in July, you guys launched Early Access on Steam, which was, I know, big news for you. How did that go? How's Heroes and Generals doing now on Steam?
It's doing great. We were one of the first games to be greenlit on Steam back 1.5 years ago or something like that. Now we decided it's time to give the Steam players access to Heroes and Generals. And we had hoped for a good reception, and we had hoped for a decent amount of players. We have got that. We launched on July 11, that's about a month ago, and we got 1.3 million installs, which is beyond our expectations. We are totally thrilled. We are also working our asses off to make sure that the servers work. Our support guys and our community managers are also working at full speed, because we got an insane amount of players coming in, and yeah, it's totally awesome.
Sounds great. So, of course, when you moved to Steam, you've been doing these updates to server infrastructure. What about game updates? You know, what have you guys been working on in terms of adding new content to the game, changing the existing content? Jacob, I know you have a little bit to say about that. Why don't we talk about, first of all, of course, there's two components to Heroes and Generals. There's the infantry and then the Generals component, the sort of overarching, not RTS, but strategy component. So with the infantry, what can players expect now that the game is on early access on Steam? What do we see sort of coming up on the roadmap for that?
Well, we have for the next update, we're going to do a major overhaul of the rank progression system. So and that's why we'll start with the infantry, but basically, the next update is going to have a lot with the strategy game to do. We are going to put the missing part of the rank in the game. So now you can rank from all the way up from a private to the general. There's going to be an overlap on that, where you have a transition period playing both types of the game until you ultimately choose that this soldier is good enough for going all in on the campaign game. That's one of the major things in the next release. Obviously, it has taken a lot of time to actually change the whole way you earn experience in the game, so you can earn experience for your character both in the strategy game and as you are used to in the action game. So we're quite thrilled about this new update. It's finally going to be all the way from private to general experience in the game. So it's a huge step for us.
What other sort of changes are coming about for the general play that, if you guys are interested more in the strategic portion of the game, can players be excited for?
We have obviously the grand scope of the game is to get to a point where we can add multiple factions playing together at the same time, and in order to facilitate that feature, we needed to expand on the actual core, the winning conditions on the strategic game. So we expanded the winning conditions. Instead of having to just conquer Berlin or London, we selected 15 major cities across Europe now, and they each count as being one victory point, and you need to capture 12 of them in order to win. So 12 out of 15 and your faction wins. That should hopefully add a lot of dynamic to the strategic game, because now it's not about just moving all your troops in a certain direction. You have to actually cover your back as well, and you have to look at the map and see where's the enemy strongest. And so I expect this upgrade to also be like a major game changer for the strategy game. Obviously, this is a stepping stone towards the future expansions that we are planning to do, but this is something that we'd like to do it in a small step, because this can potentially be something that we need to do a lot of tweaking on, because we have played it obviously in-house, but we don't have that many assault teams or that many players, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this pans out with a lot of players.
Nice. So early access right now, and you touched on it slightly there. You hinted that there are going to be other factions, so it's not just allies and Axis in the long run. You know, you kind of just slipped that in there. You know, there will be, of course, other people. There were other, nations involved in World War II, of course. So there's going to be that coming as well. And you talked about expansions. Can you kind of just give like a brief overview, perhaps, of like what players can really expect? Like, how do you see Heroes and Generals changing from now to say 6 months or 8 months down the road, what are some of the big overall things that players can expect? You know, are you guys going to go full launch soon? What do you want to sort of add to the game before you can officially say, okay, this is official launch, this is no longer early access? Where's that comfortable state? I don't know who wants to answer this question.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, I'd say that this Generals part of it is sort of like one of in our view, the last big things we need to do in order to have like as we'd say, a complete feature set that we can obviously in the future expand on. But in order to come to the conclusion, to the point where we are comfortable with this, with the launch terminology, I'd say that we need to let this Generals part run for a few iterations and see how much we can do to make that better. Obviously, already the first responses we're getting is that I'm not going to convert my action character to a general because now I'm losing all the stuff I've built up. We have in plan to actually use that grinding the way you've been playing your action player will give you some benefits as a general. For example, if you are leveled up on one of your tanker ribbons, your tanks will move faster, or you can deploy more tanks and stuff like so. So it is going to play a role that you actually played a certain role in the action game before converting your character to a general. But that's still something that we need to see look at the data and look at we track a lot of stuff on the game and we react on how the players actually play the game. And so instead of coming up with like a hugely detailed feature set, we prefer to do a simple thing, see how it works out, and then do an addition and iterations on that. Obviously, that's that's what we use the community for, to get instant feedback on obviously they think everything is wrong, but it's in there for a reason, and usually they sort of play it out and find out, okay, this is actually pretty good, but this is still shit, and then we obviously look at it, okay, they're right, this is still shit, we need to do something about this, but the good part is still good. So that's kind of like how we work, and I find it's good. It's good connection with the customers, with the community guys that are really interested in this game. So yeah.
So okay, I'll leave you guys with one last question. You know, a sort of a flavorful question for Heroes and Generals. What's your favorite role that you guys play in Heroes and Generals? And Kenneth, he's kind of been hogging the spotlight over here, so I'll go over to you a little bit. What do you like to play the most? What aspect of the game do you like to play the most in Heroes and Generals?
Well, I'm not smart enough to be a general, so I'll rule that out. Actually, I really enjoy playing as a paratrooper. We recently added paratroopers, or reintroduced them, because I just think it's cool to find a spot to jump out at and then start backstabbing all the unaware enemies. So yeah, paratrooper's my favorite.
I think actually when we played, I played a paratrooper and backstabbed someone with a shovel. Yeah, I did. That's not so much a backstab as it is like a whack over the head, basically.
I think it was your first kill.
Yeah, I think it was my first kill, actually. That tells you how good I was. And then what about you?
My favorite part of the game?
Yeah.
That's hard to say, because I actually enjoy just running around on the ground with the rifle. I find that's more challenging part of tanks. Is always cool to play, I think. When you get that good bomb drop where you take out a jeep with 5 players in it, that's excellent for the pilot. So I probably prefer the infantry, basically.
You just prefer the simple life, you know, just like keeping it on the ground and everything like that. Oh, guys, I'm really excited to see what comes with Heroes and Generals. Of course, we've been covering it for quite a long time, so it's nice to see it's finally, you know, made its way onto Steam. It's making so much progress, and I really appreciate you guys coming out oh, I guess I came out here to talk to you. You know, this is farther for me than it is for you guys, but really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing what happens in the future. Thanks, guys.